We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright! Matt, on guard, your client deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. Matt, on guard, is...
Objection!
Francisca to the rescue! Francisca von Karma? What are you doing? Oh! You'll see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off of that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces. Do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. A Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this. What a filthy old colt this is. That's Gumshoes! I can spot this tattered rags everywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial. All for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Your final evidence? This trial's already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. What?
Objection!
Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. I suppose you're right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police. He must have been in quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around. Like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That's all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? No, I don't think so. Again? I hate just doing this all the time, but if it's gonna give me a chance to quick save, I'm gonna quick save. Okay, the killer's pistol. There's no reason for the pistol to really have anything to do with it, because one was strangled to death. He wasn't shot unless... He did shoot Francisca. I guess we can question it. Does that pistol have any relation to this case? We've yet to perform a ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it has something to do with this case. At least with me. Yeah, it is what she was shot with. That's the pistol that he used to shoot you, isn't it? That's what I believe, yes. Oh! I kept the bullet they removed from my shoulder as sort of a memento. I'm sure it'll be an excellent sample for the test. So that's the pistol that was used to shoot Francisca. It's probably not going to help us very much. Okay, and it's added to the court record. Weird, but okay. Small pistol that was thought to have been fired by the killer at Francisca. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. I bet the killer took that from Guard Mansion. Yeah, that must have been what was recorded on the camera, right? I mean, I feel like we do probably should question everything we can. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh, yeah? But I would speculate that this tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. Did the killer went back for it? That's right. Looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Shelly the Killer is no ordinary man. One of the items retrieved. Violently tried to recover it, but we don't know the contents. Likely... Oh, how would it have related? Okay, so if it is the hour that was recorded, it would have shown the recording of the killer strangling Juan, and then it would have shown Adrian going in and planting all the evidence as needed. That doesn't necessarily implicate Matt, though. The last piece of evidence is his bellboy's uniform. Is that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Was that used during the crime? I'm almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There's no doubt about it. The killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There's one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There's a button missing on this uniform. A button? It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. One by the killer on the night of the murder. One of the special buttons is missing. Well, G would be gate. But... why would that missing button be of any importance? That is all I have to present, Your Honor. Okay, before we go anywhere further. Okay, so the 3 pieces of evidence are the bellboy's uniform, worn by the killer, to when he did the murder. One of the buttons is missing. So, I mean, unless Matt has the button... like, that would be the only thing I can think of. The pistol I don't think is any relation to anything because Juan died by strangulation. This was only used to injure Francisca and get her out of commission. So, while important in explaining that detail, it is not relevant to the case. The videotape which showed the killer strangling Juan and also Adrian going in. I guess it would show that she would be searching for the bear. Well, let's go on. I'm not entirely sure where to go from here. But Miracle's got to be in there somewhere. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure, were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelly the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing. It is who is the client. Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down now. Wait, Your Honor! Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix. Knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But, no matter how you think about it, it's try. For my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are two ways out of this situation for us. Two? The first. Make Enguarde wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Enguarde himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way... force the killer to end his contract with Enguarde. If the killer were to no longer think of Enguarde as his client, then he would let Maya go. Yeah, that's even more impossible! He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else! I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence! The pieces was just shown, he's not accepting them! Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side? Wait, does she mean... You mean... turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We've seen all the pieces of evidence. And that is how we've come to know the truth. There's one person who's yet to see them all. And that person does not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end. There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids?
Objection!
I've already told you, Mr. Wright! This court does not need any more evidence. I'm not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance. One chance? Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person.
Objection!
That's impossible. To turn a situation around in one try. One try. That is all I will permit. Try to remember. Everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think! There must be a way to save Maya while taking Enguarde down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show evidence to? Someone who, I mean, my immediate thought was the killer. He hasn't seen everything. He doesn't know what is on these things. He doesn't know that we have them either. Everyone else in court has seen it. So, that's the only thing that I can think of that would make sense, is to contact a killer and say we have these things. Because here's the other thing. The killer said that he doesn't, if he's truly a man of his word, then Matt is framing Adrian. And in that case, that would violate his contract with him. The point is to be a not guilty verdict. But for it to be a not guilty verdict, he is framing Adrian for the murder, which should be against the killer's code of conduct. So in that case, I mean, the killer doesn't know that we have this stuff. We can try. It's the only thing I can think of that makes any sense. I see. And now, tell us, this court, what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person. I mean, the videotape, right? Is it the videotape or is it the uniform? One of the buttons is missing. Is that important? We have the videotape, so we can question him on what is exactly in the contents of this tape. We don't need to do anything with the pistol. Pistol has nothing to do with anything. So it's just a matter of 50-50 shot. Do we try to do the videotape or do we try the bellboy uniform? Because yeah, the butler outfit was something completely different. He wanted this back badly, though. So I guess we can try that. Best thing that I can think of. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Ugh. I think there's some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. Alright, looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence? Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client to not watch it. So I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are on this tape. Me. There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. Oh, what? Is that true, Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted a camera? Well, the only person who could have placed the camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir! Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes. That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Matt Ungard film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. I think it's because he didn't trust him. That was what Matt told us. He didn't care about one getting his. I don't think he wanted reassurance either. I think it is just a matter of trust. He straight up said that he doesn't trust anyone. That was the key thing. And if the killer values trust above all things, and Matt never trusted him in the first place, that is the reason why. Your client didn't trust your skills. That's why. In order to monitor your work, they set up a video camera. Is that right? I suppose that were I to fail at my job, my client would fall into utter ruin. I can't say I don't understand the want to see how I do my job. As long as I could cleanly erase the tape, I suppose it can be overlooked. Oh, is that how you feel? Well, everyone, what do you think? Pretty good, huh? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't have anything to say to this. How about you, Miss Von Karma? Well, I was just short, so... I'm afraid I cannot allow... Come on! What?! No one understands what you're talking about anymore! Wait! Please, one more chance! That is enough, Mr. Wright. I will now state my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Matt on guard, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. And just like that, the case came to an end. I ran away from the courtroom and wandered the streets alone. Never saw Maya again. The killer's a man of his word, so I'm sure he released her as promised. I heard the verdict of Miss Andrews' trial a few days later. She was found guilty, of course. The miracle never happened. Maybe it was never meant to. Because a miracle is something that doesn't exist. Yeesh, talk about a bad ending. Let's reload.